What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another podcast here with one of my students, Kay. So this was one of the kind of more like unexpected podcasts I normally do. Sometimes a lot of the podcasts we schedule within, weeks in advance. Kay was out here in Miami, and I'm going through the students' results on the Discord, and he just kind of like smacks everybody in the face to let him know, like, hey, you know what? I'm here. I'm a student. I'm in the Discord, and I just got my $46,000 payout. So without further ado, Kay, you want to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah. So my name is Kadrian. It's a pleasure to be here. Honestly, it's so surreal. I still don't believe that I'm here. So I started trading around a year and a half ago, a year and 8 months maybe. And I literally started one day. I was in my house just chilling. I always wanted to start trading in the first place, but I never got around to it. But one day I saw one of your videos. It was like a house tour in the old house. And I remember that, and when I started watching your YouTube, I saw like your payouts and your lifestyle, your cars, the cars you were buying and stuff like that. So when I got into it, first year and a half was bloody rough. No money, nothing. It's just out. It's just trading takes a lot of psychology, I feel like, more than anything else. I got my trading plan. I've stuck to like the same system. I trade supply and demand. I've stuck to that. I just feel like psychology was, for me, the hardest part. It's taken me around a year and a half to get to where I am. I still don't feel like I'm anywhere near where I need to be, but I'm still grateful to be in the position to have got my first few payouts and enjoying it now.
Yeah, so, I mean, that says a lot because you're almost 2 years in and you've already made $46,000, which is crazy. Like the majority of people, even at like 3 years in, they haven't made a single cent, and you've gotten a total amount of 46K in payouts. That's insane. You know how like crazy that is?
Yeah, it's so real. I still don't believe it, to be honest. It just feels like a dream.
How did it feel when those payouts first started hitting your bank account?
I didn't believe it at first. I refused to believe it until I spent the money, but it just felt amazing because I worked so hard. I've been in like a dedicated routine. I wake up at 3. I would study, I'd go to the gym, and I would go to work. And now everything's just starting to pay off finally. I know it's like if I don't maintain it, it's just going to be like a one-off thing. But I'm trying to make it so it's consistently making money all the time. And then eventually I can branch out to different ventures and stuff.
So would you say that routine and that consistency with going to the gym, waking up early, and then going to work is what helped you get here a lot faster than what the majority of people would? Because what I see is like the majority of people still haven't made money around like that 2-year mark, and you've like excelled that. You've surpassed that.
Yeah, I feel like whenever I don't stick to my routine, like if I don't wake up in the morning, I don't go to the gym, I don't study, I don't do my reading and stuff like that, I feel like just not doing one of those things already like messes up my whole routine like throughout the day, because I break my trading rules. It's when I stick to that routine is when I see like myself like very, very dedicated to what I'm doing, and I don't break my rules whatsoever. So when I don't stick to that routine is when everything starts to go a bit sideways.
Yeah, I completely agree, 100%. And do your parents know about your success?
Yeah, my dad's been with me since the beginning. He's the one that always pushes me. He's like my motivation. Like whenever I feel down or whatever because of trading, because sometimes it's a bit mentally draining.
Of course.
You don't see no results, you're just investing, and then he's always pushed me. And to be honest, without him, I don't think I'd be anywhere where I am right now.
And how does that feel to have that type of motivator and that support system from your family? Because a lot of people will reach out to me, even just like Instagram DMs, are like, bro, I don't really know what to do anymore because everybody's kind of against my trading goals and my trading dreams, let's call it. And I don't know what to do. I kind of feel like giving up. So how does that feel to actually have that support system?
It's amazing. He's been like that since the beginning. Both my parents. My mom was a bit more skeptical about it because she doesn't want me like wasting my hard-earned money. But I'm like, it's not wasting, I'm investing. If I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? When I've got children and paying a mortgage, like there's no way I'm going to do it then. So I feel like my dad, with everything I've done, I used to play football, just with everything, he's always just told me, go 100% and I'll follow you the whole way. So I feel like that is, I think, the best feeling you could ever have. Like, that's all the motivation you need. If you don't push, then that's all up to you then.
Yeah, that's awesome. How old are you right now?
I'm 20. I turned 21
20
next month.
20 and made 46K in payouts from the markets. How does it feel to know that you're 20 years old and you've been able to have that type of success already?
Yeah, it's surreal, but I always seem to forget the fact that I am 20. I always like, I need to push hard. I'm not doing enough. And then I always like try to remind myself I'm only 20. Like in 2-3 years from now, like who knows where I'll be.
100%.
So I just feel like sometimes I rush too much because I feel like I need it now, but I don't need it now. Patience is a key, especially with trading. If you're not patient, you are going to screw up in the markets because you're just going to enter positions which make no sense.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel you when you say it's like, I need it now, and you have to remind yourself that you're only 20. You feel like you're not doing enough, because I had that to this day. And I feel like what separated me from a lot of other people that maybe don't chase their dreams and don't go after what they don't or what they want is because they don't have that in them, where they feel like they're not doing enough. A lot of people are comfortable. So would you say like pushing yourself outside of those boundaries and having that type of mindset is what gave you that work ethic to never give up? Because we all know trading can be very difficult at times. So kind of take us through the rough times and how you recuperated from those.
To be honest, I've never had like the feeling where I'm like, oh, I'm going to give up with trading, because I know eventually, whether it takes me 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, I'm still going to be young. So like, doesn't matter how long it takes me. I know that eventually if I just stick it through and don't give up, eventually it will pay out. Like, it just has to, because if you stick to something and dedicate your whole life to it and just focusing on like getting better at what you're doing day in and day out, like focusing your mistakes, taking your losses and turning it into a lesson, I feel like is the most important thing, because everyone just takes the loss and they don't reflect on it. They don't analyze what they did wrong. They just take the loss and they're like, oh, it must be the market.
Yeah.
Or everything's against me. No one wants me to win.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's the markets don't care about They don't care about your emotions. They don't care about anything. It's you that just has to learn to manage your emotions, and just, I guess with experience, I guess it comes. Like, I feel like I still don't manage my emotions too well. Like, I feel like sometimes I get emotional, I enter another trade, and then I end up losing, and then I enter another one, I'm like, what have I done? But I feel like without those experiences, you're not gonna like grow up into a bigger trader or just a bigger person in life, because I feel like trading has helped me tremendously in life. It's helped me like mature so much. Everyone tells me like, I don't know how you're so mature at 20, and I'm like, I guess it's the markets, it must be.
So in what ways would you say that trading has helped you actually mature?
I just feel like it makes me like reflect on myself. Like, now I'm way more dedicated in the gym. Maybe not right now because I'm out here in Miami eating and drinking, but when I'm back at home, like, I feel like I need to stay in shape. I feel like just everything I feel like leads towards me trading good. Like, I don't stick to something, I feel like it just leads to a disaster on the markets, because I feel like the markets is like a reflection of yourself. Like, if you're not dedicated, the markets will show you it, because you'll end up breaking your rules, you'll end up over risking, you'll end up just anything, and then you just screw yourself on the market. So I feel like that's just helped me become the person I am right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with you 100%, because even when I was going through my journey, or I don't want to say like early on, but definitely in the beginning stages, once I was like a year and a half in, what I started to reflect a lot on when I was doing that like self-reflectment on some of my trades, or just in my trading in general, what I noticed a lot about myself was that I was making very impulsive decisions. And then I started to reflect on the rest of my life, and it's like, okay, well, all of these different actions were because of impulsive decisions. So I need to slow down and really think about making the most logical and really kind of activating that portion of my brain that really allows that critical thinking before actually making a decision and executing on that decision. So a lot of what you said, I could definitely resonate with. And it reminds me of my earlier trading days when I was also, 20 years old, 18 years old, first starting off. But that's absolutely amazing that you've been able to kind of like shift your mindset so young, because a lot of the younger traders that come into DTI or that I talk to have like this kind of like self-confidence of somebody who has been trading for like 10 years, 15 years. And they're like, oh, like I kind of already know what I'm doing, but their P&L doesn't necessarily reflect that, and they're making a lot of beginner mistakes. And to me, I had to completely destroy my own ego. I had to completely destroy my own confidence so I could rebuild it and start building the right habits in the right way. And then that's when I started to see real growth. So I know you talked a little bit about your trading strategy. You have plans, you have rules in place, right? What does your trading system look like? Do you trade exactly how like we teach in DTI, or do you kind of like grab that foundation and modify the overall system to your own needs?
Yeah, so I trade support and resistance, supply and demand, and I always normally trade break and retest or bounce plays.
Okay,
I don't trade the break or the high. I feel like every time I do it, I just don't end up doing it correctly, and I always get stopped out. But so I just trade break and retest, bounce play, and then that's about it. But I always enter like off of engulfing candlesticks. I always wait for that extra confirmation. rather wait for that extra confirmation, avoid the loss, than take that higher risk trade. Sometimes I do take the higher risk trade,
Yeah.
of impulsive decision, but most of the times I just try stay like disciplined and not go off my plan, because I feel like every time I go off my plan, even when I win a trade, I feel like I lose because I end up going off my plan again, because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it worked one time, why wouldn't it work again?
Yeah.
I feel like just sticking to my plan. On the FTMO, like the funded accounts, I only risk maybe 0.5% to 1.5, sometimes 2, depending on the trade setup. If it's a A+ setup, it's got over 5 confluences, then I'll look to enter maybe 2%. But even with 2%, it's a bit like, if you lose, it's a bit mentally like, oh, now I'm 2% down, I need to recover.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just trade support and resistance mainly. Break and retest, bounce please. I don't really like to go off that too much, because I feel like that's what works best for me, and there's no point changing something if it works fine. Like, only modify and make it better, but I don't want to start going into
Of course.
like ventures and then ending up like not following my plan at all and then ruining my trading. Like,
Yeah.
point. Something works, don't change it. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Now, would you say you're more of a day trader, swing trader? What time frames do you trade?
To be honest, now I'm more of like a swing trader, I'd say, because I hold the positions a bit longer than a day. Sometimes it goes within the day, but I normally look on the 1 hour, 4 hour daily, like around those like hourly.
Yeah, with those time frames.
Because I feel like it works best for me. Whenever I enter on like a smaller time frame, I feel like I always get stopped out. I don't know why. Maybe it's, stop loss or where I'm entering, but I feel like the best is daily, 4 hour and 1 hour. It's what works best for me.
It's quite interesting you say you're a swing trader, because the majority of people that are in DTI nowadays, we're typically trading like the lower time frames, but the playbook setups are essentially the same, which is bounce plays. I know you say don't trade breakouts, break the highs, break the lows, which is also quite funny, because I have traders that I talk to in DTI that are making money that they're like, I don't really like the bounce plays or the break and retest too much. I just like the breakout setups. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then, you have traders like you, they're like, I don't like the breakout setups. I like the break and retest and the bounce plays. So that's actually funny to see how different personalities will suit different trading setups a lot better. And then again, like, it's the same playbook setups. We have the bounce plays, we have the breaks and retests. You can grab them and apply them to different time frames and ultimately find success on those time frames as well. Just the setup and the time it takes for those setups to play out is a lot different. So walk us through your trading plan. What does your trading plan look like? What assets do you trade? We already talked about the time frames a little bit. You talked a little bit about risk management as well. You're trading funded, we know that. So walk us through like your day-to-day trading routine, and then what are some of your rules inside of your trading plan?
So normally I wake up at like around 3:30, sometimes 4, depending on what time I get to bed. But then I wake up, I study, I do my reading, I normally look at your webinars just to get myself a bit warmed up for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Then normally, before I go to the gym, I'll go on the charts, analyze the markets, I'll see like what points I want to enter at. I normally analyze the week, like ahead, for the whole week, and then I look at areas where I'm interested in looking, and then every day I just keep an eye on the charts to see if it's broken below, then I'll look to enter maybe a different setup on it. Because if it's above, I want to enter a buy, obviously, if it's above support. But then if it breaks below, I want to look to enter a sell, depending on the change of like market structure, like when it goes from like it's trending up to bullish to bearish. So normally I just stick to that routine because it works best for me. But now I've left my job because it was conflicting too much with trading, and I've also got backup. My dad is a taxi driver, got his license if I need it. So now I feel like I can properly
100 all in on your trading.
I can properly structure my my day around trading, because I feel like I was analyzing the markets too early, and sometimes like the position would not be there when I looked at it later on, and I'll be like, what's happened? And then, so I'm just eventually now I'm looking to structure my day around just trading. Like I'll go to the gym, because I always like to go to the gym before trading, because I feel like it prepares me for the day. I feel like if I go after, I need to do trading. So
So you quit your, let's call it the 9-to-5 job already. Did you do that before your payouts or after your payouts?
No, I was in the process of doing it because I had already saved up money. But then like with the payouts that I got, I was like, okay, this is like a bit more of a confirmation where I can do it. And if ever I need to go back to a job, I know I can, like, because I've got my dad's taxi if I need to, but I don't really want a plan B. I just want
Of course.
like it's trading or nothing. I'm
Yeah.
just focused on that at the moment.
And there was a question I was gonna ask you. Would you say that your payouts have significantly paid you more than what you were making at your 9 to 5?
No, it's paying me way more. It's paying me my yearly wage and more. It's still so surreal. Like I don't really believe it. Feels too good to be true.
Yeah. But then once you saw that bank balance significantly increase, it was a completely different story, huh?
It's made it all that much more worth it.
Yeah.
Everyone doubts you at the beginning, and now everyone's like, "Oh, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that?" And
Yeah.
you weren't there when I needed the help.
Yeah.
Now you want it.
Yeah. And you could probably give a big portion of your success to actually the funded companies because, of course, you were able to use the leverage that they offer and then the profit splits as well. So would you say you would have had that same opportunity if there wasn't prop firms? How have prop firms affected your trading career and the trajectory of it?
I feel like without prop firms, there's no way I would have made that. Like, there's no way I'm turning 500 quid or 1,000 into 25,000, 40,000. There's just no way.
Yeah.
I feel like prop firms is literally one of the best things at the moment. Like, to scale up your money, there's no other way to do it apart from prop firms, unless you're just entering high risk trades. And
Yeah.
you're just on the verge of blowing your account on every trade.
Yeah.
Because trading is not guaranteed. You don't win every trade. Like,
Of course.
so I feel like prop firms is the way to go. If you don't have capital, it's the way to go.
100%.
Like 100%.
Yeah, because just to give the example, it's like, okay, you gotten 46K in total payouts, right? So a 200K account, typically, I'm not sure exactly how much, every prop firm charges for a 200K account, but I leveled up, we charge $1,000 for a 200K account. What's the probability of you turning $1,000 into 50 grand versus just buying a $200,000 account and using those 200K to make 46K?
Yeah, so it's not happening.
Yeah, the probability of success.
Very rare. Like, unless you're like been trading for a long time, and even then, like, you can just blow it in one trade. But it's easier, for example, for someone like you to do it than if for me, let's just go into the markets. There's no way I'm turning. I'd have to get really lucky. That's like winning the lottery. Like, you just have to get lucky to make that.
Yeah. So what type of advice would you give to that person that's kind of like looking into the prop firm space or their own personal capital? What would you say would be the best route to go there once they're already finding like some type of profitability?
I'd say 100% go funded. There's no better way. Like, there's no other way. You're going to leverage your money so much, like the funded companies. And there's so much room. Like, you actually have room to make mistakes and still be able to take on money. Like, you can maybe break your rules one day and then you still have that possibility of making that back and more, because you've got like a limited drawdown. Whereas if you just trade your own like funded money and you're just doing high risk trades, just risking your whole account to make that big payout, you're just gonna end up blowing it once you lose one trade. So I'd 100% go funded route for sure.
And what was your approach to taking the challenges?
To be honest, I lost so many challenges, probably over like 15 accounts in like the whole year. I mean, I just took a little break. I stopped for like 2-3 months and I just focused on like following my rules, sticking to my plan. And I traded with 300 because I watched one of your videos which said to start an account with 300 quid for 3 months and see if you're profitable over the months. And then once you're profitable, just go into go into a funded company, stick to your rules, trade the same, and then it worked for me. I was surprised, to be honest. I went from not getting any funded accounts to all of a sudden in 1 month getting 2 funded accounts and then receiving 2 payouts. Like, it felt so surreal. Like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Now, would you say that you've already recuperated the loss of all the failed challenges?
Yeah, literally within the first 2 payouts, I'd already made it all back and more.
Yeah.
So, like, everyone's scared to risk their money and lose money, but it's like a lesson. It's not really losing your money because you're investing in yourself. Eventually, it all comes back, and then way more.
Yeah, 100%. That's one thing that I talk about in trading in specific. There's no other place where you can make all of that money back plus way more, which is absolutely amazing, because I don't know of any other field that realistically that you can invest money like that and then make it back 10, 15, 20 times. Because for, like I said, again, in $1,000 account, even if you get a 20K payout, I mean, you've just 20 times your money in, let's call it, the span of a few weeks. You can't really get that elsewhere, especially the barrier to entry on funded accounts is so low. You can find funded accounts from like $50 all the way up to like $3,000-$4,000, depending on how much you're looking at here. So what are your plans and your goals for the future moving forward?
My goals right now are to reach 7 figures in funding. That's like my goal within the next few months. I'm gonna hopefully get my 6-figure payout within. I've set a goal within 6 months because I just really want to try push myself. Because I feel like when I set big goals is when I actually work hardest. And then hopefully, eventually down the line, I want to open my own trading course to help others, because I feel like that is the best feeling ever when you're helping others grow, and hopefully just take it from there.
One step at a time.
I don't really want to think too much ahead, because then I'll just get too fogged in on that, and I'll be like, I need to reach that far goal. But hopefully my goal is to have a house out here too. But
yeah. So I appreciate you for coming on, bro. Thank you. So for those of you guys that want to follow his trading journey, we'll leave his social media down in the description. For those of you guys that may just want to follow his journey or ask any questions. And of course, see you guys in the next podcast.